Greetings everybody, Reggie Middleton, giving what is hopefully soon to be a weekly update. I find doing the live streaming to be easier than the actual blogging, so this would be my modus operandi of communication. And I like to discuss recent events. As many who follow the crypto space know, China has outlawed ICOs, initial coin offerings, and the rumor is through the mainstream media that they will be closing down, shutting down Bitcoin and cryptocurrency exchanges. While I don't know if that's official as of yet, BTC China has announced that September 30th will be the last day of trading, and it is said that other large exchanges will be following suit. Now, this is opportunity. China is currently the second largest economy in the world, okay, in terms of country, second only to the U.S. The U.S. has one of the most stringent financial regulatory regimes, and the U.S. hasn't even done such. Now, we could speculate as to why China is doing it. China's, as a country, has a decent stockpile of NPAs, non-performing assets, and NPLs, non-performing loans. It can be argued that these came from how China attempted to circumvent the Great Recession, when non-performing assets, non-performing loans, profligate spending, and outrageous lending basically led to the ticking time bomb that was the Great Recession. Now, China looked like it skated, but it didn't. China simply prolonged the fall by pumping liquidity into the system, and with all the liquidity that went into the system, it attempted to come out of the system and into other countries. So those in the U.S., those in smaller nations such as Jamaica, African nations, etc., those in Europe know that the Chinese are spending a lot of money in retail, in luxury items, in real estate, and investment. You know, China is very, very aggressive, trying to get the capital out of the country. Not just on the institutional side, but also on the small business and investment side. So the Chinese government apparently is attempting to curb the outward flow of capital by putting in money controls, capital controls. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are custom fit, custom tailored to circumvent said capital controls. Now, I don't know if that is the case for sure, but it definitely does seem like one easy way to eliminate the capital control sidestep is to, of course, outlaw Bitcoin, or at least heavily regulated. And voila, you see ICOs are now being outlawed and Bitcoin exchanges are being shut down. This is theory, of course, speculation on my part, but it does make sense. Now, there's a lot of money sloshed around in China because of the excess liquidity. The PBOC, the Public Bank, People's Bank of China, which is their central bank, has turned on its spigots. Where is this capital going? Okay, I believe that the cryptocurrencies, and even currently the mainstays, are here to stay, such as Bitcoin, potentially Ethereum, etc. Okay, so from a legislative perspective or a regulatory perspective, to attempt to turn it off or stop it, I think is akin to playing whack-a-mole. And you're chasing economic value outside of your country. This is not any country, this is the second largest economy in the world. At the same time, China is outlawing Bitcoin currency exchanges, or allegedly, and ICOs. The tiny isle of Jamaica is embracing them, right, through a joint venture agreement with Veritasium, our company. Now realize that we're not totally objective on this, since we're part of the agreement. And please pardon the background noise, walking down the street in New York City. But let's run a hypothetical. Let's suppose that a portion of that capital that was sloshed around in China seeking Chinese exposure left China and went to Jamaica, where you have a regulatory regime that accepts a cryptocurrency exchange, such as that, I'm sorry, not cryptocurrency, accepts a digital asset exchange, such as that of the joint venture between Veritasium and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. You have an active exchange, right, with capitalization, with adequate capitalization, right, that is overseen by its regulator, the Bank of Jamaica, and the FSC, the Financial Services Authority, FSA. And you have cutting-edge technology, such as the Veritas tokens, that allows the Jamaica Stock Exchange to trade tokenized assets from the real world. Retail stores, commercial real estate, distressed assets, startups, private equity, beautiful women, tokenize everything. Okay, this to be traded back and forth. This is an opportunity for these smaller economies that are now more entrepreneurial and more forward-thinking, potentially, than some of the larger entities to really move ahead in the hierarchical structure of global macroeconomics. That being said, I would not be surprised if Jamaica jumps significantly ahead. Since we have a decent amount of control over the architecture of this new exchange, and we are very, very strong in the financial engineering bent, you can expect that whatever comes out of Jamaica very, very soon, in the very, very near future, is going to be something different. And it's very possible that that economic value that may flee China or be booted out of China, depending on which way you want to look at it, may never return, because it will find a new home, potentially in a Caribbean country, and that new home would be much better suited for its economic activities. Just a hypothetical, okay? Now, we have other announcements. I should do a different live stream to announce these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mention them quickly. I am, as you know, the founder of Veritasium, going to do more live appearances. On the 20th of September, 3:45 p.m., I'm giving a presentation on the virtues of Veritasium, digital assets, and peer-to-peer value exchange for startups and SMEs, small to medium-sized enterprises. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be a TED Talk style. 15 minutes of Richard Middleton has the floor. I'm going to live stream it from Harvard University, and depending on the crowd, the audience, I will do live demonstrations on how you can sidestep much of the frictions that SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, currently have to put up with using this new blockchain technology and the platform software that we use, Veritas tokens. On September 27th, an associate of mine is assisting in the sponsoring of a sit-down with President Barack Obama in Washington, D.C. This would be very interesting. Looking for like-minded individuals to sit down and brainstorm how to bring the U.S. as a country to the next level from a political perspective, but also from a financial and business investment perspective. And in October, late October, we're sponsoring a marlin fishing tournament in Jamaica for those with small fishing yachts. This will be heavily platform economics centric, and we will have more than one presentation detailing how Veritasium can help not only the Caribbean nations, not only offshore financial centers, but all countries and SMEs and large entities as a whole. So it's a full plate. I will go into detail once I have the calendar in front of me, but that's a sneak peek. Everybody here, please like this video, and everybody please share this video. And now that I've finished yapping and I'm walking down the street, if you have any questions for me, let me go through them and ask. I'll do the best that I can while I'm walking, but if anybody happens to be on 50th and 5th Avenue, come join me. You know, Obama is part of the globalists. Okay, pound that like button. Don't be in New York on 23rd of September if you can avoid it. Hollywood showing signs something might happen that day. Last time they hinted at a date, it was 9/11. Something is happening that day. That's my birthday. It's a day of rejoice. Everyone leave a comment of praise to Reggie after the very video stream is done. I would appreciate that if everybody did that. Also, again, everybody hit like and everybody hit share.
It's outside.
Can you put details and links below, please? Because I'm walking down the street as a live stream, I can't do that now, but potentially a little later I can, after I get settled. I will definitely do other videos and detail all three events. In a world full of scams, veritas the truth. Well, thank you. I don't want to call a lot of the crypto venture scams, but I will say that a lot of them don't seem to go into detail in terms of business models. And a lot of them don't seem to go in detail in terms of actual assets, etc. It still seems like software development projects. And what you need to do is run actual businesses now. But alas, I'm not totally objective. I'm somewhat biased since I'm competing with several other platforms. 3:45, what time zone? Was at Harvard University, so it's 3:45 in Eastern Standard Time. Will be held at Harvard University. I forget where, but with the next video, I will put next video that details this. I'll put explicit time, address, and links to the event. Okay, but for right now, it's 3:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Harvard University. How much work can one very do for a dentist's office? What would they need? Many. You would need more than one very. Okay, and as for actual details, we'd have to take a look at the situation. Why any politician? Thought you were Austrian economist? Well, I'm not Austrian or an economist. I'm a businessman and a capitalist, and I believe strongly in meritorious compensation. And for the record, Obama is not a politician, he's retired. One very good 100F financial machine. Can anyone attend a Harvard conference? Yes, anyone can attend a Harvard conference. And if you ping me, I can arrange for discounts for the first, I think, 15 or 20 that get to me. I forget how many I had. You could try pinging me through the YouTube comments, but there's a strong chance I won't get to those. So you can contact me via social media, WhatsApp, Twitter, email, etc. Might sound like I'm a little scatterbrained, but I'm very, very tired. I'm running on like an hour and a half of sleep for the past 24 hours, so please pardon. I like the lineup of activities you have coming up, Reg. Not a fan of Obama or the political system in general, but I guess you all must need some sort of input. Let me explain how this works from a business perspective. If you look at a lot of my competitors, okay, you cannot tell what political leaning they have. Look at Goldman Sachs, look at Morgan Stanley, look at JP Morgan. They donate heavily to both parties, Republican and Democrat. You know why? Because they honestly don't care which party wins from a business perspective. Okay, politics is more of a personal endeavor or an endeavor that leans to one party or another if a certain business is, how do I put it, can somehow benefit from a particular party. I think a well-balanced business does not endear themselves to a party, but endears themselves to an objective, an end goal. Hence, they make sure that they have a path to fulfilling that end goal, irrespective of which party wins. Okay, that is more of a logical way of going about things, from my perspective and from my studies of financial history. When we see vary above 1,000 USD, I have no idea. Keep in mind, short-term fluctuations have nothing to do with the what we're doing. You know, we're building utility software using platform economics, and we are seriously and literally trying to take over the world. Believe it or not, you know, off to a decent start. Unfortunately, I'm still not at liberty to explain all the things we're working on, but I will start taking the covers off of the Jamaica deals relatively soon. I'm still trying very hard to push limited beta access to the full trading suite and the full exchange value exchange suite I'm putting it in the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Still can't guarantee we'll make it, but so far, we're on track for the week of the 18th. Very goals for 2018 and 2019. I want the largest and most lucrative clients of the Wall Street banks using Very to transact peer-to-peer and over-the-counter with significant deals of value. That's my goal. It's 2018, 2019. Not all of them, but we're talking, we get 100 or so basis points, anything over 20 basis points of total value of the top clients, and we're rolling. Because then it becomes contagious. Those that actually use the Veritation platform to do said value transfer will do so at a much higher margin, profit margin, than those who are using the traditional legacy system and investment banks. So, if everybody else doesn't follow suit, then those that use us simply make more money, right? If everybody else does follow suit, others make more money, but relatively, the playing field remains the same. Absolutely, there's a lot more money in the system. That money will come from the profit margins of our competitors. And we'll allude to the clients, and to a lesser extent, us. Have I met Obama before? I don't believe I have. I was stayed at the meeting, but he was busy being a president. Did you guys buy $300 million ETF? No, we didn't. But if we did, I would think I'd be able to tell that. What do you think of Enigma Catalyst? Don't know about it. But Very go 2-to-1 versus F. I have no idea. Please don't ask me prediction questions on prices for Veritasium. For a variety of reasons, I cannot entertain said questions. Cliff says Very will eclipse Bitcoin at one point. Hey, possibly.
And there's so many sports going on.
Very price drop. Your thoughts? Again, not true price discovery, and that is not part and parcel of what we're doing. You know, remember, price is one thing and value is another. We're selling platform software. The platform software we feel has significant value. Okay? When people start and realizing its value through increases of value in their actual operations and personal endeavors, business endeavors, profit margins increase, revenues increase, costs decrease, the value shall be recognized. That's the key. South America and the Caribbean is the place to move. We've also started negotiations with 3 countries in Asia and 1 in Africa. I forget all the tidbits. We're going through a lot, but I get reminded as I go through the comments. In that case, I look forward to meeting you. I will be there at Harvard September 20th. Thank you, Reggie. Look forward to meeting you as well, sir. How our negotiations going with the other big exchange? According to them, they're going well. Okay, haven't been finalized as of yet, but it's a possibility that we may be throwing small amounts of revenue off to that exchange very quickly, within a period of weeks, actually. That part is actually contingent upon us. They are waiting for us to finish and fulfill certain actions, which we're working on, but pipeline. We need to hire and expand because we're still at capacity once it comes to bandwidth. Intellectual bandwidth and old-fashioned labor. So, if you're a crack shot at investment banking and private equity, or if you're a world-class business development salesperson in products such as what we sell and services, come see me, Reggie at Veritasium.com. Let's chat. Mr. Reggie announcement next week, JSC beta. You shall see. If the software development gods meet their financial engineering gods and get everything done on time, we'll announce it. Remember, this will not be a public beta though, because of the potential amount of money at risk. But it will be a closed beta, and we'll open it up bit by bit. The closed beta would be for the large Very holders. It's quite possible that the rental facility may be ready for a public beta by then. We're at beta 4. Actually, we're now at beta 5. Okay, and instead of doing separate links and deliverables, each beta upgrade is going through the same link. So anybody who had a link to beta 4 now has every updated beta. Okay, beta 5, beta 6, beta 7, etc. So all changes are being pushed to that link. I don't use Instagram, man. Thank you for the answer. Ethereum fork, a good thing in your opinion? If it's necessary, I try, and the entity tries to remain platform agnostic. So we would like Ethereum to survive since we have a part Ethereum, but we will move to any platform that makes sense for us. You know, we are definitely not blockchain specific. Can Very be utilized by retail investors, or is it aimed more for the institutional financial sector? Again, Veritasium is utility software and can be used by anybody who has a job to get done. Think of Veri as a tool such as Microsoft Office, Microsoft Server software, etc. With that being said, it can be used by anybody. Of course, there's a decent amount of expertise that may be needed, but that expertise can be gleaned and gained simply by reading. Okay, or you can retain us by redeeming some of your Veri to us, and we can walk you through it. Right, as we scale up, we could do more and more deals, but for right now, it's aimed at the institutions or potential retail guys who have very, very strong ideas, of course, which we will assist with because we're looking for value. Okay, you have a strong value proposition. You help use Veritasium to build a tool, a solution to that proposition, and we help you publicize it because we want Veritasium to be used throughout the world. When we do a conference in New York City, I will do it very soon because, as you can see, I'm a New York City resident. As a matter of fact, we were discussing this last night, and we will be doing presentations in places such as the Barcroft Hotel in Avra and various other places. You would think I do more New York City presentations and conferences than anything else, but I usually do what I'm invited to. I'm going to start doing Veritasium-specific presentations and conferences. I live here in Harvard. It's quite a drive. Tell me about it. Guess watch if you're a live stream. Do you think the U.S. stock market will crash this fall? I'm not a strong believer in equities right now, but I've been so busy with my own concern that I haven't had a chance to give it the analysis I usually do. For those who don't understand how the rental facility works, you can go to the Veritasium.com website and look at the instructions. I've also have videos that explain it, and when we go through a public beta, you'll be able to actually use it. The public beta 4 and 5 is actually pretty smooth, but there's still minor glitches. There's even more minor things, you know, not extremely important from a technical perspective, but definitely important for usability, such as clarity and a lack of ambiguity in nomenclature and naming of fields, tabs, etc. Okay, so Reggie, is there any chance that we'll develop an exchange using Veritasium in the future? Yes, we're doing that right now, actually. Very, very near future. Again, hopefully we get a beta out soon. That beta, of course, will allow you to buy and sell Veritasium, at least in Jamaica, and for those, it will be open from a technical perspective, or accessible, potentially accessible technically by anybody in the world. But of course, there are regulatory jurisdictions in every country. I am not a lawyer, I'm not your representative, and so that's an issue that I can't advise you on. I'm not Jamaican, but I'll follow Reggie, but I'm not Jamaican either. So you don't need to be Jamaican. It's not a nationality thing. To be absolutely honest, the country of Jamaica is very, very, very progressive in this. They're willing to educate themselves and take risks. And it's my job to make sure that they're thoroughly rewarded for their educated risk-taking endeavors. When is Veri going on the main trading platform? That's a question I've been asked often. I don't own an exchange. I can't force exchange to list Veri. But my trading partner, the Jamaica Stock Exchange, or my joint venture partner, should I say, I'm sorry, not trading partner, the Jamaica Stock Exchange will list, with our assistance, Very on our new digital asset exchange. And we'll also list the derivative Very tokens that allow you to trade a variety of things, such as cash flows, etc., deeds to property, real, distressed property, etc., opportunities. That's going to be very, very exciting. Again, contingent upon legality and your particular regulatory jurisdiction, legal stuff, blah, 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 yada, yada. Very one-to-one with F, with one. Okay, I'm going to go through 2 or 3 questions, then I'm going to call it early evening. And example of how small Very holders can benefit. I will go through that example. I can't do it now though, because I'm about to wind this up, but I have had that question several times. Basically, you can still solve small problems just like you solve large problems. You can also use a rental facility to basically meet other like-minded Very holders and rent to those who may desire or need the Very, but for whatever reason can't access them. Okay, the facility itself will not aggregate Very holders, but you can aggregate outside of the facility and then use the rental facility itself. Okay, and when I'll be back in the live feed, quite possibly tomorrow, after I get some sleep. I've really abused myself in the amount of sleep that I did not get. So I have a lot to announce. I will definitely go back on the live feed and go into more detail with the Harvard announcement, the Harvard presentation, the marlin fishing tournament in the Caribbean, and the sit down with the president, or President Obama. I'm sorry, he's not the sitting president right now. Okay, so we're going to why can't I buy Very with cash? You will be able to buy cash when an exchange listed. The Jamaica Stock Exchange venture with Veritasium will listed under the Jamaica Stock Exchange regulatory rules and laws. Okay, so thank you for your support. One more time before I go, everybody please like this video. I have 135 likes, 242 people online simultaneously. So I would hope there'd be at least 243 likes. And everybody who's online, please hit share. Give this video some popularity. It's a possibility I may come back on tonight live and explain more. Actually, I have a lot to discuss, but I will try very hard to at least do it tomorrow. Okay? Au revoir, everybody. Many, many thanks to the Veritasium community, to those who are simply curious, and to those who are willing to change the world with us. Okay? We're working hard for you. Peace.